Hey guys, this video is to help you understand the instructions on today's activity, Over the Tale of the Three Brothers by J.K. Rowling. We're going to be doing a symbolism activity. It looks a lot like the one we did with Hair Love, the one that had the story of the little girl that was trying to manage her hair, and then her mom was sick and had the website on how to do hair, remember? So we did a similar activity with that. This one looks kind of the same. I'm going to change up a couple of different little things though. So let me go over what we're going to do so you can make sure that you know what's going on. So it says today we're creating an association between symbols from the story and add the abstract ideas that they represent. We have both a short story version and a video version, which is the exact same thing. So you can watch the video, follow along, read the short story. Slides 3 and 4 both have the story, so however you want to get that story. You are going to be choosing 4 symbols for the activity that we're doing today. And we're doing a couple of different things with these. So just keep that in mind while you're watching them, that you need 4 symbols. When you're completely done, you're going to delete these instruction slides right here, and you're just turning in 6, 8, 9, 11, and 12. You're going to be submitting them in the same place you made the copy of the assignment, just like we usually do. All right, so after you read and or watch the video of the story, you will come to slide 5. You will review what symbolism is. There's a link right here that has some conventional symbols and their meanings. This may be helpful to you if you choose a conventional symbol. If you're not sure what a conventional symbol is, it's something that is usually recognized by most people and can be used across different storylines. Like the sun can represent something similar, rebirth or happiness, in like multiple storylines, not just in one person's story. So conventional symbols are like symbols that are used a lot. And it can tell you what these different things represent. So if you choose something in your story that you feel like it's probably also in a lot of other stories, you might find the meaning for your symbol in this link right here. So remember, we have to come up with 4. So when you get to slide 6, I need your 4 objects from the story. You need a picture of each object, and you need to label each picture. The quickest way I do it is just to do the insert image and then search the web. But you can get your pictures on here however you would like to. Just make sure once you get your pictures on here, you label them. If you want to chunk a little text box right here underneath your picture, that's probably the quickest, easiest way to label them. So I need 4 pictures, each one with a label, okay? Then we're going to come to slide 7. Here's where you're going to write out your sentences. Each object will get 2 sentences, okay? You're going to write 2 sentences about your object. The purpose of these sentences is to tell me how your characters feel or react to your object. So whatever object you choose, how do your characters feel or react to your object? I did an example from Hair Love with the little girl's hair. I chose her hair as an object. So if I was doing this activity, I would have a picture of her hair and I would have it titled as the girl's hair on the previous slide. Then I would come over here. This is object number 1, the girl's hair. The first sentence and the second sentence, you need to use the object inside your sentence. So make sure that you write out the object the way that you had it written here inside each sentence, because we're going to go back and we're going to do something with that. So it might sound a little weird to say the girl's hair in some instances, but I wanted to be verbatim whatever you wrote up here next to object number 1. So sentences 1 and 2, you're using the object inside your sentence. You're telling me how the characters feel or react to your object. This is a stepping stone that's going to help us figure out what abstract ideas are associated with your object. This is the easiest way we're going to figure out, how do your characters feel about that object? How do your characters feel about that idea that's being expressed or taught about? So starting simple, get your object, write your 2 sentences about your object, okay? Remember to tell me how your characters feel or react towards that object. You just need 2. And then you're going to come down here, make sure that you get 2 sentences for each one of your objects. So slides 8 and 9 will be those 6 sentences. Or 8, I'm sorry, the 8 sentences. So you've got 2 for each object, okay? Once you get your sentences down, you're going to come to slide 10. And you're going to figure out, okay, what does the object I chose actually represent? So let's start with object 1. Whatever you chose for object 1, what abstract idea does it represent? In the example that we did with the girl's hair, I said the girl's hair represents emotions. I feel like she's tangling and wrestling with her emotions. She doesn't know how to control her emotions, and her father's very intimidated by them. Remember, he has the whole like thing in the boxing ring with the hair. It's very metaphorical. He's not sure what to do with her emotions because of what's going on with the mom, right? So whatever you write here, your abstract idea has to make sense. You're not going to change your sentence. You shouldn't need to change anything else in your sentence. You should just need to plug in your abstract idea wherever you had your object there. So the girl doesn't know how to control the girl's emotions. The father is intimidated by the girl's emotions. That makes sense, right? So you're going to come down here. I need you to use the exact same object that you used for object 1 earlier in slide 8. I want the exact same sentences that you had earlier in slide 8 when you're right here. Only now, instead of having your object title right here, you're going to tell me what does your object represent. So instead of hair, this is where we would write emotions, okay? So whatever object you pick, this is where you're going to put what it represents. Get your 2 sentences down and make sure each of your sentences is the same sentence you had in slide 8, only now you're changing that object into an abstract idea. So it won't say hair, it'll say emotions. It won't say, whatever you picked, it'll say what it represents. Okay, so you will end up with those 8 sentences. Your 8 sentences are telling me that you understand what that object represents inside of your story. You'll understand how symbolism works and the connections between something that is concrete and something that is abstract. So when you're completely finished writing your sentences, please make sure you double check that they make logical sense, okay? And that's why I underlined that right here. You don't want a sentence that you have to completely rearrange because it won't work for this activity. You'll notice in the examples that I didn't have to rearrange any of these words right here. I just had to change the concrete to the abstract. So you shouldn't have to rearrange any of your previous sentences. You should just have to change the concrete object to the abstract idea. If it doesn't make sense and your sentences are just not working with this new abstract idea, you either need to find a different abstract idea that makes logical sense, or you might need to go back to your previous slides 8 and 9 and rearrange your sentences. Because if you're using it in a concrete way, it's not going to make sense if you change it abstract, right? If you're saying the hairbrush brushes the girl's hair, it's very concrete. It won't make sense to change it abstract. So you've got to make sure you tell me how do the characters feel or react to your object, and make sure that it makes logical sense when you come over here to slides 11 and 12. Okay, when you're completely finished with this, make sure you're coming back up to slide 2 and you're going to figure out which slides do I need to turn in and which ones do I need to delete. You're turning in 6, 8, 9, 11, and 12. You will be saving those and submitting them in the same place you made the copy of this assignment. Please email your teacher if you have any questions. I hope that you enjoy the story.